Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a crossband repeater. Spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, please Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you'll see the exact frequencies we operate on, a little background information on the club, and also you'll find a link to YouTube on that page that will take you to streaming of our nets held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 with a specific tone of 103.5 at Cougar Mountain for this net. Again, that is a tone of 103.5 for this net on Cougar Mountain. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact on the 08 machine before our net gets fully underway. This is Dave, KD7CYM. Hearing none, again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. We'll get the net underway. Signed in already by video link is Ron, KD7QKU, Bob, K9PQ, Richard, K7IATX, Jim, N7QO, James, WU7N, and myself, Dave, KD7CYM. Is there anybody else who would like to join the net this evening? Hearing none, we'll start the net off with Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Well, thank you, Dave. Good evening to everyone. KD7QKU here, Ron. Well, let's see. I don't have much to talk about. I sure hope you guys have something interesting to talk about. I can tell you that I went to the birthday party for my wife's niece on Monday night. She turned 54. At our wedding, she just learned how to walk, and she was walking all over the place. And it just doesn't seem possible that she could be that old now. So anyway, what else I do? I talked to Dave today. I told him about everything I have to say. So let's see, I went for a walk. Oh, I was telling those other guys, Richard, you didn't hear, I don't think. I thought today was Thursday, and I looked all over for the Thursday night football game. Couldn't find it. Went to ESPN on my phone, couldn't find the score. Sent my son a text, say, "Are you watching the game? I can't find it. What's going on? Is it already over?" Found out it was Wednesday. Oh my. So anyway, let's see. Oh, I had to replace the Christmas lights in the dining room window. I stick them in there with that alien tape. Works really good. I put the lights in the living room window, dining room window. Then I said, "Hey, Joanne, come and see. It looks nice." She goes, "Well, there's some bulbs burnt out in the one in the dining room window." I looked at it. Holy smoke, she's right. So today I had to take it down and I had another string of lights. They were the outside lights I had in Bellevue. And they must be about 15, 20-foot strings. Just almost perfect to go around the dining room window. So I threw that string away, and I have one more spare string. So pretty soon I'll be shopping for new lights. So that's about it over here in Tacoma. I had another little problem. Everybody else, well, maybe you guys did, I don't know. They got their notification for their new Social Security check, for the new year, what the raise is going to be and how much you're going to get deposited in your bank account, on a certain date. I didn't get mine, so I'm a little worried. I wonder what happened. Joanne got hers a couple weeks ago. Usually we get them at the same time. So I don't know, mine got lost. Maybe somebody hacked me. Maybe somebody else is going to get my Social Security check. I don't know. But anyway, I guess I wait a few more days before I get too worried. But so you guys can answer if you got your notification from the Social Security. Anyway, back to net. WW7ATS.
KD7QKU. Let's go to Bob, K9PQ and Bothell.
Well, good evening, everybody. Ron, yeah, I only just applied for Social Security, and I have my own problems there. It said it takes 2 to 4 weeks for processing. Well, it's been over 6 weeks now, and of course it's a black hole. There's no place you can go to check or ask anybody. You just have to wait and hope for the best. So there apparently are 3 different phases they go through to approve and get your Social Security started. They've gone through 2 of them, so they're in the last third, but who knows how long the last third will take or when my payments will actually start. So I had actually hoped to get the first payment in November, but that's, long since passed, so we'll just have to see. Yeah, and hopefully it'll go up, but for next year, I have no, this is all new to me, so I have no idea. I assume there must be some sort of cost of living adjustment, but it's all new to me. So, yeah, let's see, not a heck of a lot else going on around here. I got out a little bit. It was nice. The last couple of days, yesterday and today, have been very pleasant, not too terribly cold, about low 40s, I guess, and a lot of sun yesterday, and a pretty nice day today, so it was nice to get out, and yeah, that's kind of it. I'm going to have to see what other people have to say. Hopefully Richard has some racing news. That always is fun. So I will send it back to that, K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks for that. Let's go to Richard in Kent, K7ITX.
Okay, well, I don't have a bundle of news myself. I thought, when I got up this morning, I was, I always have something that sets off the security camera, and so I was just looking at who set it off this morning, and it was Debbie, and she went out on the front porch a couple of times, and I saw her, taking pictures. Okay, well, by the time I saw all this stuff, she was already gone to work, and so anyway, I just kind of forgot about what that she was taking pictures. I figured she was just taking pictures of the mountain or something, and then so just kind of going through social media stuff, I look at KLMO, and the first thing they had was this spectacular picture of the sky and the mountain. And I thought, oh, wow, I wonder if that's what Debbie was seeing. And then sure enough, when she got home, I told her, well, text me your pictures. I want them. Maybe I'll show them to the guys. And wow, so this is just one. Okay, let's see if I can bring up another one. So, yeah, here we go. Here's some more pink. It was just a great sunrise, I guess. I mean, I wasn't around. I was still sawing logs or whatever you want to say. But it was nice of her to get these things. It's just, it's a night, and it was sunny all day today. I'll tell you right now, it's a beautiful day. With the southerly exposure that we have, and this is what you're seeing. Well, this is looking to the southeast a little bit, but we got the whole southeast, south, and southwest panorama, and it just, so it gets up to about 85 degrees with the blinds open, and me and the dog and the cat, we're just laying around in the sun. I mean, it's just like summertime in the wintertime, it's a lot of fun. So let's see, and then, but I just stare at the mountain. I just get mesmerized by it, and then, now I have to admit, it didn't look this beautiful when I was up. It was more kind of just bluey skies, but I sure thought it was nice that he picked up on these. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pictures, and I think the very last one in this run, the very last picture, is the nicest. Now it's kind of blurry on the repeater, but the ones on digital are nice and crisp. You almost feel like, Ron's climbed this a couple times, so Ron, all I can say is it looks better from here than sometimes up close. Up close, it can be very intimidating. You get very tired to get this far, to get up close, too. There aren't roads that are really, I guess Paradise Road gets you up pretty close, but you don't have the vista like some of, what is it, the Golden Lakes is a spectacular place. Apache Park is another one. I hiked all around Mount Rainier, and I just loved it. So anyway, I thought it'd be fun. Oh, I got to answer your question. Ron, don't fret. I haven't got my annual notice either, and Debbie hasn't got hers either as well. So they'll come out in about a week or two. In fact, I've got my foundation that helps me with a lot of my medical bills is bugging me for my invoice for Medicare, because they're very nice about paying my premium, and so I don't want to get that fouled up as well. So, but I haven't seen if I have an award for 2024. I don't know if I deserve it or not, but it's always nice. I'm not taking the really expensive drug that lured me into their help, and obviously if I don't use up my entire award for this year, they're going to wonder if maybe I don't even need it. Well, I need anything I can get. Let me just put it that way. So, there you go. So, K7ITX back to net control.
ITX, we'll get an IDN here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. Again, I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's go to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, beautiful day here as well. My wife had something going on in the morning. I don't remember what, and then when she came home, the two of us were running errands for most of the day. Yeah, the sun was definitely in my eyes this morning. A couple times driving down the road, it's like, I hope that traffic light's the color that I think it is, and just had to slow down until I could see it more clearly. So I can definitely see how there are some accidents around here which people blame on the sun being out, especially after getting used to it not. Yesterday was an extremely foggy day where I live, and it was pretty much like that the whole day. The weather guesser said that it was going to clear off in the afternoon and the sun was going to come out. Only the sun never did come out, unless it did so after it got dark. I don't know. We didn't see anything. Let's see. Ron. Yeah. Birthday party sounds good. Football game. Yeah. I sometimes have to check when things are as well. And Social Security check notices. My wife got hers. I did not get mine. So I don't know exactly what to make of that. But Bob, there's a way that you could sign up on. I did not check, but Bob, there's a way you could sign up online, open an online account, and you can maybe get a feel for what's going on there. It will at least let you know if they're processing the thing. Once they're done with it, they should post a notice. So, plus I would think the results are available online as well. Like I said, I did not check yet. Debbie taking pictures. Yeah, pretty pictures. Red sky in the morning. Supposedly the weather's going to change for the worse. I don't know what's going to happen here. I thought they said it wasn't going to rain until tomorrow night, but I don't know. Things change every time I watch the television, so not real sure what to make of that. But pretty pictures. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. Let's go to Bellevue, to James, WU7N.
Thank you, Dave. And the picture on 1.2 gigahertz tonight is coming over really, really well. Bob, your picture was really nice. I can tell that you have some kind of a really nice camera, and then it gets transferred to analog, and so it looks a little better than mine, for example, right now, that I'm looking at. So good job there. And Ron, Christmas lights. Yes, I have a dying string of Christmas lights, and fewer lights. They're incandescent. The sockets aren't really very good quality, and so each year more die. The string gets smaller and smaller. I keep moving them over to the side. But I looked. There was some kind of flash sale. I got some piece of spam for. It was $10 for a whole new, brand new string of lights. So I don't think I can buy replacement lights for that. What we do is just watch for the after Christmas sales and replace it that way. The other thing I have is projector that puts this kind of little red and green dots that dance around and do all sorts of interesting things. And it's very simple design. It's two solid-state lasers that go through some sort of combiner, and then there's a kaleidoscope that's run by a little motor. And this year it ran for about a day, and then it stopped. The motor stopped, and so I took it all apart and figured out that whatever little transistor, surface mount transistor on the board in there that supplies the 5 volts to that motor has died because there's no voltage on those pins. But I can, make it go on super speed with a 9-volt battery. So I'm trying to figure out, well, should I put time into this so that, figure out some way to get the little motor energy off that board so it would work or not. I'm not sure it's really quite worth it, but it looks kind of nice when it goes, and it does project a nice little scene on the side of the garage. So maybe I'll put some time into that tomorrow. Security, you guys should all have an online account. I don't collect Social Security, but I got an online account just to audit what I was paying in, make sure it was there. You can do everything online, and I find that's just better than getting stuff in the mail. It's just less stuff to get lost or stolen or whatever. I guess that's a prime thing to steal, is all that kind of information, not just the checks, but any statements or anything are valuable mail thief items because they put that out and sell it. So something to consider there. Let's see. Oh, Richard, wonderful sunrise pictures. Those were really good sunrise pictures. I went out and walked today when the weather was good. I haven't been, when we had that nonstop rain, I really didn't get out that much and walk around, and I really noticed it in a lot of different ways. I think I just sleep better at night when I wear myself up on the four of the hills of Bellevue here. I just do better. So it's always good to get a little bit of exercise. News is tomorrow is my first dental exam in, 3 or 4 years. I didn't go to the dentist all during COVID, and now I have a tooth that's bothering me. It was just bothering me with temperature sensitivity. Now it pretty much bothers me all the time. So that'll be interesting to see what's going on with that one and see how much other damage is done. I worked hard to try and take care of my teeth. Always have all my life, but especially during COVID, because I figured, wow, you were really in trouble if you had a problem in that period of time. I have a friend that works as a front desk receptionist, and she said that first year of COVID, they were taping little bags of like do-it-yourself dental kit stuff on the outside of the window for people coming for dental emergencies. I thought, wow, is there a YouTube video on that? How do you do-it-yourself dental work? That would be tough, but I don't know, maybe that would challenge your Raspberry Pi programming, see if you can make a little robot that could do that. So anyway, well, that's all the exciting news here. This is James, WW7N in Northeast Bellevue. So let me turn it back to Dave, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
WU7M, thanks for that. And it's time for another ID. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, here in Lake City, I got 43 degrees out, and it's cloudy. Here anyway. Let's see, excitement. Ron, fantasy football on Wednesdays. I guess he's starting a new fad. So anyway, congratulations on starting fantasy football for Wednesdays. Yeah, let's see, I had a Zoom update just before the net, and then I wasn't too sure if everything was going to work, but I was able to talk to Bob, and it worked out okay. I did get a letter from AARL today saying my license needs to be renewed, and they give me the big form letter of all the things I got to do. Now I got to try to find out my VIN number somewhere. I've got it on either on a license that I have or in a file in a drawer somewhere, and you need that to start the process. Anyway, there's about 20 steps you have to go through to get the license renewed. And that was about it. And let's see. Bob for Social Security. I'm sure it'll be there soon. And Richard, oh my gosh, the sunrise on Mount Rainier looked fantastic. That was great. And Jim, the sun angle is very low this time of the year, so I see what you mean by if you're driving along and the sun is in front of you, boy, it's almost blinding in the afternoon. And James getting his lights up and going, that's pretty good. I played around with some of these LED lights, the little tiny things, and by gosh, they're very bright and very inexpensive, about $8 for a string that's about 30 feet long. It must be at least 200 bulbs, and they run on it like 12 volts. And it's just amazing that you get that much light out of just a little 12-volt wall wart, and the lights are very, very bright. Anyway, that's about it from here in Lake City. So we'll go up to Ron, KD7QKU, and find out more about fantasy football.
Okay, thanks, Dave. KD7QKU. Well, Bob, if you're still listening, I can't see you, but I assume you're listening. Seems like when I signed up for Social Security, I went to the office in Bellevue and did it right there at the office. So I don't know if there's a Social Security office near you or not, but there used to be one in Bellevue. Sunrise. Yeah, those were beautiful pictures that Debbie got. I was waking up at 6:30, but for some reason I'm sleeping in now. So this morning I didn't wake up till like 7:30. And so I went out to the kitchen and opened the patio curtains, and they look east, and man, there was the sunrise, and it was well underway, and I'm sorry that I wasn't there earlier to see it begin. So then I turned on the radio and sat down and listened to the people up north, and they were oohing and awing and saying, oh, it was just fantastic. So they saw it from the beginning, I guess, because they started 7:45. I mean at 6:45 on the net. So the net was almost over by the time I got there. So anyway, I saw some of it, and it was very pretty. So let's see what else. James and his little Christmas lights and moving them over. Yeah, I think Dave's right. I think, well, somebody said you could go to the dollar store. Now I guess it's $1.25 or something. You can get some lights for $1.25. So I haven't been there, so I don't know. So let's see, what else? Oh, the dentist. Yeah, no. Seemed like we went to the dentist all the way through COVID. I didn't seem to have a problem. I only go in every 6 months, so maybe by the time I got around to it, it was the COVID scare was kind of over. So let's see what else. So there's, I was telling, maybe I told Dave, I guess here in Tacoma, they have down at the Yacht Club, which is down by the ferry terminal in Ruston. It's a big, big place. They have a lighted boat parade on Saturday night. So I don't know if we're going to try to go down and see some of the boats. My neighbor, Steve, came by last night and told me about it. And he wanted us to join his social group, he calls it. They were going down to, I don't know where it is. I want to call it Commencement Bay. But into Tacoma, and at a restaurant just down there on the waterfront. Can't remember the name of it now. I think something dock. But anyway, they would have a ringside seat because I guess the boats come down there and turn around. But if it would mean, dinner and drinks, it might, I don't know. We didn't necessarily want to see them that bad, I don't think. But anyway, he said you needed to get there by 4 in order to get a table. So, if you have a couple of drinks, I probably wouldn't care if I saw the boats or not. So I think if we do anything, we'll try to go down here by the ferry or down by the Dunes Park. And there's lots of parking places along, and maybe it won't be too crowded. Although it seems like every time we go down there for something, it's just a bottleneck, and there's just bumper-to-bumper cars, so who knows. And then, of course, we have the Point Defiance Zoo, and they have zoo lights. Joanne was telling me you have to make an appointment to go there and see the zoo lights. So it must be very, very popular. Maybe they have a big parking lot. I would think you wouldn't have trouble parking. But she also said it was $18 a person to go see the zoo lights. So I don't know. We'll do that or not. So let's see. That's about it, I guess. Like I did go for a walk around the block. I haven't been doing that lately, and definitely can tell a difference. When you sit on your butt and watch TV all day and don't do anything. It's a little over a mile around the block that I walk around here. And it's uphill the first half, and then it's sort of gradually downhill the second. It's not uphill much, but it's uphill just a little bit. It makes your heart beat harder, that's for sure. So I went around there, and nothing had much change. We have raccoons over here, and they've been digging everybody's yard up. I guess they're looking for grubs or something. It's terrible. But we have a fence, so they haven't been doing ours. So I think I'd have to try to catch them or trap them. I have a trap, or maybe take more drastic measures. I mean, you should see it. It's terrible. They've tore the sod up. It's just horrible. It looks like somebody got in there with a tractor and kind of plowed the lawns up. It's awful. So anyway, that's about it over here in Tacoma. Back to net, KD7QKU.
QKU, let's go to Bob, K9PQ.
Thanks, Dave. Let's see, let me go in order here. A lot of notes. Richard, beautiful pictures. Wow, I have not seen a sunrise like that in a very long time. That's just really impressive, the colors there. Yeah, even, I mean, I've seen some good sunsets, but not a sunrise like that. And Jim, it's interesting, you know, different locations. Like for me, yesterday was the sunny day. Today was okay, but not as sunny. But I did not have the foggy weather you did yesterday, or the sunny weather you did today. I guess we're just far enough apart that makes that difference. Yeah, the Christmas lights and the post-Christmas sale brings back memories of when I was a kid, and my mom used to go out to get her Christmas cards at the post-Christmas sale for next year, which was always a good thing to do. And as far as the dental advice, the only one I can think of is Anbesol, which is you know, a pain relief that you could, you know, put on your gums or on your teeth to help relieve, you know, like a local anesthetic to relieve pressure. Yeah, as far as like Christmas decorations in general, you know, around here people don't do peer pressure for drugs or smoking or anything like that. It's for Christmas decorations. They try to shame me into it, saying, you're the only one in our building that has not put up decorations. So a couple of years I've done it, but this year I'm not the only one in my building not doing it, and I'm not going to do it. But they even do, you know, like the first one's free. My neighbor gave me a wreath so that I'd put up a wreath on my door. And yeah, not this year. I did get a second Christmas card, so inside my Christmas decorations now consists of 2 Christmas cards. I just, you know, I actually enjoyed it when I was when my parents were alive, and I'd go there and we'd set up and decorate for Christmas, but I just have never been interested in doing it just for myself. And then the other big Christmas thing was, I think if I understood you right, Ron, you were talking about the Christmas boat parade that they have. And I actually was out in that one year. My uncle had a boat, and we decorated it up and went out on Lake Union and went with the boat parade, and that was loads of fun. That was a lot of fun. He had a big enough boat. We had a number of us on board, and we were just having some snacks and drinks and had a really good time. And thanks for all the notes about Social Security. I did apply online, and I got a lot of good information online, like about, you know, what, you know, how my work history, and, you know, what, you know, if you choose at whatever time, how much money you're going to get, and all that kind of stuff. But once you apply, that all goes dark, because I guess they figure they don't want, I guess it could change or who knows what. But once you're in the application process, you don't have access to any of that information. So, yeah, I might actually, that's a really good idea, Ron, of actually going to an office and asking a person in person, so they can't just ignore me, because there's no way online for me to ask anyone, and I'm getting impatient about this whole thing, so I might actually do that. So, yeah, that's my notes for this time. Again, Richard, just beautiful pictures, fantastic pictures. I'll send it back to Ned, K9PQ.
Thank you. Thanks for that. And ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. Well, let's go to Kent, to Richard, K7ITX.
Well, I'll be sure and share the nice comments with Debbie. So that's pretty cool. So, and then I don't know who did, but someone mentioned, you know, the sun being lower in the sky. Well, believe it or not, that affects me, you know, in my former professional career. A lot of people don't think of it, but, you know, there's a lot of polarized light this time of year. And polarized light really kind of changes the way glass looks. In fact, you might even probably with polarized sunglasses can see the heat strengthening on a lot of the cars. Sometimes the quench marks are kind of rainbow-like, and a lot of the back windows you can see it on cars. But I've had some very frustrating experiences, particularly, hate to mention Microsoft. You know, sometimes on some of these big projects, there's more than one general contractor, and when there's more than one general contractor, that always means there's a project manager, who is it? C.B. Richard Ellis is a company that's pretty large, and they pretty much take care of a lot of lease management issues, but they also have project managers for new construction. And sometimes I think these guys need to justify their existence, and so they'll find things that no one else will, and they'll make a really big deal out of it, when in fact it's a function of polarized light. And it was really, I had this one problem with Microsoft that extended over a couple years. And it's funny how they always brought the architect's attention to these lines, these heat strengthening lines in the glass. But it happened to always be in the spring or the fall. In winter and summer, everybody's always, oh, it looks so nice now. Thanks for fixing it. We didn't do a darn thing. Jeez. So, I don't know. This poor, and I'll tell you, I didn't know much about it either, quite honestly, until finally someone brought it. They go, hey, you know why you can see this right now? It's because it's the time of the year. And I go, what are you talking about? Whoever mentioned the lower sun in the sky, thanks for bringing back old memories. That was pretty weird. And, gosh darn, last night, I'm not really much of a movie person, but on YouTube, they had I had to, blink. They had and I'm not done watching it, a 5-hour-long movie. But it's mind-boggling. But it's all about exploring the South Pole, and it's all they took a lot of pictures. Amundsen, Scott, and Shackleton, they were all competing to be the first to get to the South Pole, and they all took a lot of pictures. These are big operations, but whoever put together this documentary, remastered all these pictures. Everything's in HP. It's just beautiful, and but the way they had to live for maybe 2 winters in a row in these buildings these shacks they would build. Now they were all relatively happy. Most of them were, gung-ho about the whole thing because they're scientists and explorers, and they're very, very competitive about being the first at the South Pole. So I can't tell you who got there first. It's one of those 3. I suspect it might have been Amundsen. Scott was in over his head, and Shackleton actually took advantage of Scott, who trained him. So the one was the Norwegian, and the other 2, Scott and Shackleton, were the Englishmen. So it's I'm only halfway through the movie, but it's so interesting. I know all about zoo lights. Well, not really, because I never went to it, but I've heard about it forever and ever. And a lot of my family to have reservations, and I think it might have been free or almost free in the beginning. And oh yeah, foggier than heck yesterday. Just really foggy. So, and as I look at the barometer right now, it's kind of almost like a stalemate. It appears to be going up a little bit, and the weather guesser is saying partly sunny. So maybe it might be nice tonight. I'm not sure. So I guess that just about covers it. So there you go. K7ITX back to net control.
K7ITX. Thanks for that, Richard. Let's go to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Jim, dentist exams. Yeah, I tried very hard to avoid the dentist and doctors as well during the pandemic. In fact, my doctor said, you don't want to be doing this or that. You don't want to spend time in a hospital until all of this stuff is over. So I actually delayed some things until I couldn't wait any longer, basically. But good luck with the dentist. I hate dentists. Nothing personal, anyone out there, but ow. That's all I can say. Power tools in your mouth. Boy. Let's see, Dave, your FRN number, if you look at your license, on my license, it's the first thing which is below my street address. There's my street address, and then a blank space approximately 3/4 of an inch, and then it shows my FRN number. But I remember my previous license did not, so if it's not there, it may be that it's not there, but it will be on your next license. That doesn't help you much, does it? Anyway, it might be there. It's worth taking a look. Ron, yeah, that Christmas boat, there's a, you could get a ride on some of the Christmas boats. I'm not sure if it's only one or several, where you could buy tickets and go for a ride on the thing. We did that one year, and that was fun. It was really cool. You got to see all the boats closer than you otherwise would, and plus you were on a boat that had Christmas lights on it. It was kind of cool. Yeah, once again, it's one of those things, been there once, don't need to do it again. But it was kind of neat doing that once. You might want to investigate that. And raccoons tearing up your yard. Yeah, I've got an area in my yard, just a small area, maybe 15 feet by 45 feet or something like that, where something's tearing it up. It's not moles. It's not like there's anything making burrows or anything like that. It's just the turf is being torn up. It's like something's clawing at it. I don't know if it's squirrels trying to bury stuff, or but they're not digging very deep. So I'm not sure what they're trying to do. Maybe it's something going after insects or whatever. But yeah, I've got that problem. I'm not real sure what critters are doing that to my property, but I can see raccoons doing that. Good luck with that. Christmas decorations. Oh, Bob, I don't know. You know, you said something kind of interesting. I had a wreath magically appear outside my door, hanging on the wall, and then not too long after that, another one appeared, and I'm not sure if maybe some neighbor's trying to make a suggestion, or if someone's trying to show appreciation for me doing a good deed around the neighborhood. But anyway, if someone else is going to put up decorations on my house, I will let them go ahead. Wow. Also, Social Security should have a phone number that you could call. Bob, if I remember, I will try to see if I can get a sort of a local number for you. I'm sure they have one because we've called them a couple of times for some dumb reason. I don't remember why. It's reset. And Dick, polarized light. Yeah, that's interesting. Especially when someone has a problem and then it magically goes away. Thanks for mentioning that. That's kind of interesting. And by the way, I watched the latest Blanco Lirio on that one crash in Tennessee. Oh well. Anyway, just mentioning that, Dick. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, let's go to James. WW7N in Bellevue.
Hey, Dave. Well, keeping the tradition of being the perfect consultant, I've given Dave a perfect consultant answer. If you don't know your FRN and you've forgotten it, then you log into the FCC Cores system with your username and password, and you go to the Manage FRNs page to view all the FRNs associated with your username. I think that I actually got that straight off the web, and that is an answer that is so annoying, it's even above my ability as a consultant to come up with a more annoying answer that's absolutely accurate and totally worthless. Because how would you get into the core system if you don't have an account and you need a username and a password? Anyway, I thought I'd give you an answer, Dave. I put it on the digital side there for you. Yeah, I think my annoying consulting answers are being outdone by the ever-helpful internet and AI. For the Ambisol pointer there, I suppose I'll try to get through the night with aspirin, and if that doesn't work, I'll go to the guy behind the gym, and I'm sure he'll sell me something that'll make me forget my name and the fact that I have a toothache. But we'll try the dentist first. That's probably the safer route. Dave, I wanted to show you this picture here to share with you. Do you remember that commercial that showed the frying pan, and then it showed you an egg and said, "This is your brain, and these are drugs," and then they crack they would crack the egg into the frying pan and say, this is your brain on drugs. Okay, I wanted to share this picture with you, Dave. That is your house. That is your house on decorations. Any questions? Okay, so there it is right there. People have a little yin-yang thing going there. I think that's a great picture. It tells the whole story, but you just don't know what the whole story is, do you? Okay, well, I had a question. Maybe this is for next time, but remastering the pictures. Like, for example, I've seen World War II pictures where motion pictures were pretty new. And I've seen the originals, and I've seen the remaster, and I have to say the remastering is impressive. But is that the right thing to do? I mean, really, the image, as it was collected with the best technology of the early 1900s, that's kind of what I prefer to see sometimes, because that's what everybody else saw. And I'm wondering if 100, 200, 300 years down the road, if the only thing you'll be able to find is, 3D perfection images in your holosuite, and the originals won't be around anymore. I wonder if you'll be given an option to say this is what, and also the still plates from the Civil War are the same way. That's what they had, but now they're remastering those, and it looks like a picture taken with a 4MP digital camera. just wondering about that, because obviously you're... because you have to. I mean, the color, obviously... what was it, 20 frames a second picture, and you turn it into 30 frames a second. What do you guys think of that? I want to know. Got 9 minutes left, so let me turn it back to our net control Dave. This is James, WW7N in Bellevue, Washington.
7N, there's a little QRM on that. Sounds like somebody was doing digital on this frequency, but it cleared away. And I did look at my old license and found my FRN number, so I guess I'm up and going with that. It's printed right on the license. So I guess I thought I'd have to dig through some files and try to find some original copy that I had with that. But it luckily is on the license, all printed on nice. And as far as critters digging up yards, in my yard I found out the crows get in and they start digging up the grass. What they're looking for is the bugs in the ground to eat. And boy, it kind of looks like they're cultivating the soil and the grass. You look in some places, it really looks pretty ugly, and you just say, how could a bird do that? But then I was saying, on the other hand, well, if they get rid of all those bugs, maybe the crows are doing something good, cultivating the soil, and then the grass will grow out better next year. So who knows, nature's way of taking care of things. Well, with that, I'm going to go back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, KD7QKU here. Well, I was going to tell you the same thing. After Jim mentioned it, I went and looked at my license right above my head, and sure enough, the FRN number is right on it. I guess it was it Richard that mentioned Antarctica? Somebody mentioned Antarctica. So I knew a guy that went down there and worked. So he worked at Group Health where I did, and I met him. I don't remember what he did. He didn't do the same thing I did. I was a driver. But somehow I got acquainted with him, and he quit and went to Antarctica, and guess what he was going to do? He was going to be entertainment director. I guess that's a big deal. They're bored to death, and so he had to plan all the parties and everything. He said the first thing when he got there, everybody advised him to pick out a girlfriend real quick. So he said that was a big deal. Everybody, had a girlfriend. So he was down there a year or two, and then he came back, and he went to New Zealand or someplace. He had to get himself to New Zealand or someplace in order to go to Antarctica. They fly him in from there or something. And so he went the second time, and he didn't want to be entertainment director anymore. He decided that he was going to be an insulator. So I guess they have a lot of new construction. He knew quite a bit about construction. I think his father was a carpenter or something, and so he'd been around construction. So he was an insulator. He said that really paid quite well. So anyway, he was an entertainment director, but he had fun as entertainment. I guess, they have movies and all kind of stuff and games and stuff, but anyway, I said, yeah, well, are you going to have the same girlfriend this time? He said, I hope not. So I don't know, he probably had Porky the cook or something. Oh my. Anyway, so enough of that. So there's this program on TV, it's called Light Fight. I don't know if you guys have been watching it, but they go around the country and they look at the different houses that are decorated for Christmas. If you haven't seen it, you owe it to yourself to see it at least once. It's unbelievable what these people do. I mean, there isn't a square inch of their property or house that's not covered in something, and some of them have big pieces of property. some of them get the neighbors involved in the things they make and the animation and all the movement. And of course now they're using laser and they're using drones and all this stuff. So it's taken another turn with the new technology. But still, yet I've seen it twice this year, and I haven't maybe seen the full length, but I saw enough of it. And it's just unimaginable. I mean, people must spend a whole year decorating. They must never take them down. I don't know where they would store all the stuff, but you owe it to yourself to see it. It's unbelievable. All right, that's enough. Back to net KD7QKU.
7QKU. Let's go to Bob, K9PQ.
Keep it short here to see if I can let some other people get a chance, but I just commenting on James's comment about the original pictures. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I would like to see the original form of the pictures, and it reminded me of the big thing with Ted Turner colorizing movies. That was a while ago he did that. I'm sure they can do a much better job now than they did then. Remastering music is a very common thing. You know, the digital music, they'll remaster it, or even analog music, they'll remaster it. But, shoot, what was the one thing I had? Oh, It's a Wonderful Life on wherever, Netflix or Amazon, where they're showing it. It actually says original black and white version. They want to make sure you're seeing the original. Okay, back to net, K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks for that. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Okay, well, yeah, thanks a lot for mentioning that, Covington Jim, that I believe you're probably... I haven't seen the Juan Brown's talk about it. I think I saw the headline and maybe watched a few, half a minute or so of it, and I'm going to guess it's this TN Fly Girl, standing for Tennessee Fly Girl, and right away I was kind of hesitant to watch. She's a very, very beautiful girl. Oh my God, young, so if you're talking about that video, it's a tragedy. I mean, someone that beautiful, oh my God, it was just unbelievable, if that's the one you're talking about. So anyway, thanks for mentioning it. I'm sure I'm going to see it. And okay, and you guys are talking about Christmas lights and things. I've seen a lot of Christmas lights. They've got a lot of. But how about when I was at Trader Joe's last night? Here's this car kind of trying to pull out from a parking spot that I was going by. I was passing right in front of it, and I go, "Whoa, what's he got on?" I could see like fur boughs or limbs sticking out from the front of his. He had a Christmas wreath on the front grill of his car. I thought I've never seen that before. I mean, on the front grill of his car, so I kind of wait. I point at it, and he's big smile. Jeez. And then so I don't do the lights, but Debbie's really into it. So she last year, I think she did the right thing. She bought these snowmen, like Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear snowmen, and they kind of fold up for storage like hula hoops. They're all, and then you unfold them, and then magically you've got a snowman made out of translucent, white plastic with, the face and the nose and all that, and hats and stuff. And so that's what we have, and then to top it off, we actually have laser snowflakes circling around on the front of the house. And so, we're we're into the later situation in our household now too. So and fold away snowmen. So I thought that's she does have lights on the front steps handrail, which so she has more power to her. I'm so happy she's doing what I should be doing. So there you go. And so good for you, Ron. That you're miles ahead of me on with the light situation. So anyway, gee whiz, it's time to sign off. So 73, everybody. This is K7ITX. Back to net control.
Then it's time to terminate the net. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. I'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 with a tone of 103.5 for the nets. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7CYM, signing off at 9:01. Good evening all.